Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at 4 transfer targets Arsenal could still sign after Aaron Ramsdale and Martin Odegaard, as there are still more signings that are being targeted by Mikel Arteta. So the first person on the list is Kieran Trippier. Arsenal's #1 priority before the end of the month appears to be a top quality right back. Hector Bellerin has fallen out of favour at the Emirates as he hunts for a way away from North London, while Callum Chambers was exposed against Brentford. Kieran Trippier has been linked to the move to Arsenal this summer, but Atlético Madrid have apparently rebuffed any approaches for the player. The 30-year-old has a £51 million release clause in his contract, and Atlético Madrid will only look to sell the player if interested parties meet that fee. Trippier is no stranger to North London, having made 114 appearances for rivals Tottenham, and would no doubt welcome a return to the Premier League. But Arsenal may face competition for the defender, while Manchester United also rumoured to be keen on a deal. And it looks like Mikel Arteta definitely realises that there needs to be a top quality right back at the football club, and Kieran Trippier is one name that is seen as the only priority by Mikel Arteta currently, and there were talks that there could be a swap deal between Hector Bellerin and Kieran Trippier, but there is also talks that suggesting that Kieran Trippier's transfer value, which is estimated to be somewhere in the region of 18 to 20 million pounds, but Atletico Madrid's release clause being £51 million could also tempt Arsenal to give Hector Bellerin and Alexandre Lacazette for Kieran Trippier. But Kieran Trippier being 30 years old and only having 2-3 years at the top of his level, it could be a situation where Mikel Arteta could look to other right backs and try to do some form of a swap deal between Hector Bellerin, who looks very likely to leave the football club and has really urged for a new change and a new exit as well. So the next person on the list is Marco Asensio. Arsenal desperately need some attacking flair if they are to improve on their measly tally of 55 Premier League goals last season. They lacked ideas against Brentford and will face an even bigger struggle to break down more experienced Premier League defences. Mikel Arteta is keen to raid Real Madrid for a second time this summer, with Marco Asensio apparently now on the Emirates wish list per reports in Spain. The 25-year-old has scored 37 goals in 194 appearances for Los Blancos and has lifted the Champions League trophy twice during his time at the Bernabeu. Marco Asensio would certainly help Arsenal on the creativity front and could provide the cutting edge Mikel Arteta is desperately searching for. And Mikel Arteta desperately needs a player that can get the ball and create some form of magic, like something Alexis Sanchez done very well under Arsene Wenger, even when other players look like they're not going to score, when Arsenal doesn't look like they're going to score, and the magic of brilliance needs to come from that one player, and they are targeting Marco Asensio, someone that could do that sort of Sanchez sort of role. And with the youngsters such as Gabriel Martinelli and Florian Balogun struggling to impress at striker role against Brentford, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang suffering COVID-19 and not looking the best in pre-season, Marco Asensio could be a player that could be brought in if players such as Alexandre Lacazette are sold, and transfer funds can be raised as Marco Asensio is in the region of 30 to 40 million pounds, and that's something that Mikel Arteta could be pouncing towards, as he's a 25-year-old, someone that has still time to reach the best form of his career, and he's someone that could really help this Arsenal squad in terms of their attack and really be a goal scorer. So the next person on the list is Lautaro Martinez. With the futures of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Alexandre Lacazette up in the air, Arsenal could do with another goalscorer at the club. They have been heavily linked with Inter Milan's Lautaro Martinez all summer, with Tottenham also rumoured to be keen on the player. Inter are reluctant to lose their star striker after Romelu Lukaku's departure to Chelsea this summer, so Arsenal will need to submit a big offer to turn the heads of the Serie A champions. Lautaro Martinez notched 17 goals for the Italians last term, so he would clearly give Arsenal some much needed firepower if he did make the move to England. And Lautaro Martinez is a player that is very young, only being 23 years old, but the situation with Inter Milan is the fact that they do not want to sell Lautaro Martinez, but due to their financial difficulties, they've also come with a big offer for Lautaro Martinez and really show their intent with the player and really show the player what it is to play for Arsenal and try to lure him to the football club. It could be a sensational sweep by the Gunners, as they still look to sign that star signing and try to get the fans on board with the club, as they were linked with the likes of James Maddison previously, and Arsenal fans were very interested and very excited by the prospect of Arsenal signing James Maddison. But another player that was linked with James Maddison at the same time was the fact that Lautaro Martinez is someone that was seen as a Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang replacement. So Lautaro Martinez at the football club could be a major coup for Mikel Arteta, as he looks to find a striker that can score goals day in day out and really be a force to really help Arsenal push up the league and become a dominant force once again. So the final person on the list is Odsonne Edouard. If Arsenal's interest in Lautaro Martinez comes to nothing, they could look to broker a deal for Celtic's Odsonne Edouard. The 23-year-old has been on the Gunners' radar for some time, and they may finally be forced to act in their pursuits of goals. Odsonne Edouard has impressed since moving to Celtic Park from Paris Saint-Germain 3 years ago. The striker has scored 85 goals in 176 games for the Scottish Giants, and he will surely jump at the chance to play in the Premier League. And with having good current ties at the football clubs such as the likes of Kieran Trippier, it could be easy for him to move from Scotland to England and play for one of the biggest clubs in the world in the form of Arsenal, and start to make a name for himself by scoring a lot of goals, as there needs to be goals to win football matches, and if you cannot score a goal you cannot win football matches. And that is something that Odsonne Edouard can do with his prolific goal scoring record for the Scottish Giants, scoring a goal every 2 games. It is something that Mikel Arteta could utilise very well, as we look very shaky in terms of our strike force, because Lacazette looks very likely to leave as he enters his final year of his contract, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang looks not the best of himself and looks rather a former shadow of himself, and he is someone that has struggled heavily in pre-season and the previous season, and also definitely need to find a striker, as that is one of Mikel Arteta's priorities. And if they can't get that Lautaro Martinez deal, they might have to go for the cheaper alternative, and Odsonne Edouard is a good player, someone that came from Paris Saint-Germain and someone that has heavily impressed for Celtic this season and the previous season. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup post that uses a special link I have put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 30 likes. Also subscribe for more daily videos and share the video with your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the latest videos on the screen and I'll see you there.